We're going to have a special announcement today. Woo! Yeah. We've been preparing for some while for this series that we've been doing on simplicity. And Katie and I, as we were preparing for this and planning for this, were wondering about us having a gift day. And we're excited to announce that's going to be happening in a couple of weeks' time or during the next few weeks. In our previous church, we'd have this opportunity of a gift day each year. It was a fantastic opportunity to collectively come together and give towards something that went beyond ourselves. So we had youth centers, children's centers, church plants, good works that were happening here, good works that were happening abroad that we would give to. And it was an exciting time to be as a church family as we joined in with what God was doing elsewhere outside of these four walls. So in our Simplicity series, if you want to catch up with some of that, it's on our website. Darren, a few weeks ago, encouraged us that there are two things to remember when we're thinking about what we do with our money and what we do with our stuff. And these two things happen to start with G. I don't know if anyone can remember or have a guess at what those G's were. Two G's that might help us not be so tied together with, I can hear one from the side there. Yeah, let's give me one. Yes, gratitude was one. So gratitude was one. And the other was generosity. Thank you. Generosity and gratitude. In 2 weeks' time, on the 14th of July, there's going to be a picture that comes up on the screen which says about this, the date. We're going to have our very own gift day. We've been praying about this and what we're going to support, and there are 3 ways that we're going to split this gift that's given. Okay, so 2/3 of the gift are going to go to some things that are local, and the final third, we want to bless some things that are happening abroad. So I'm going to explain what these things are, so you know where the gifts are going. So firstly, the local project we want to invest in is called Hope Projects, and you'll see a photo on the screen of what Hope Projects is. So if you haven't met her, this is Jules. I don't know, would you mind giving us a wave? This is Jules. And I could say more, but I won't. But she heads up our Hope Projects, and she oversees a number of growing activities that happen from this unit. And Small Steps is one of those. Small Steps started back in 2019. It's a clothes and equipment resource. It's for 0s to 10s. And what we do is we run it on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday between 10 and 2. And everything is donated for free. And it needs sorting, it needs cleaning, it needs redistributing before we can give it away. And so we have a wonderful team and volunteers too who come together to make that happen. Hope Projects needs funding though. We sense that this gift would be a brilliant opportunity for us as a community to give towards investing in this team. It's an award-winning team. They won the Going Above and Beyond award, and they want to make a difference in the lives of the vulnerable and children and families in our city. This is what they say on the website. Through our referral service, we give items for free, including baby baskets, which are complete with essentials to those facing challenging circumstances. We believe every child is a gift from God. Regardless of faith or background, we support and empower young families or children to thrive one small step at a time. Hope Projects have some other things that are springing up from there. Bags of Fun happens monthly on a Wednesday. You'll see in the notices it's happening this coming Wednesday. That's a stay and play toddler group. On the other Wednesdays, we have Fun Sorting Bags, which is a multi-generational volunteer time where we get through sorting clothes that are then redistributed into the community. There's also Family Lounge, where people gather together for lunch. There's also food for thought and an opportunity to pray. On a personal level, Katie and I are so excited that we as a small church have been given such an amazing opportunity to bless people outside. And we want to welcome people in so that they can find home like we have and share hope. So more information, talk to Jules. There's some website and emails if you want to find out more. And to give, it'll all be on the website on the front page. It is there live now. Number 2, can you say number 2? Fantastic. Number 2, the second project, the picture will be coming up, is having an impact here in Oxford. And we're so excited that the Brewers, Randy, who here worship, and Ryan, who heads up youth, and their family of 5 children, moved from Dallas here to Oxford. about 1.5 years ago. And previously, they'd spent time before that in Thailand for 6 years. Ryan heads up youth, and as he was saying to us the other day when we went round to talk about this, moving to Oxford was somewhat a surprise for them and their family because they had such a global heart to reach people who were marginalized, and they found themselves coming to Oxford. But since arriving here, Ryan was explaining he's been connecting with a global community of students here, and it's starting to add up because in this city, we have the potential to impact nations for Jesus. And so Ryan's partnered with a local cafe to create a space with taco nights, sitting around the table where people are at the same level and able to share and develop ideas about their studies, about their experiences, to share and support each other, and for those open to it, to receive and give prayer. So some of the things that the Brewers are up to here, Randy shared a little bit last time about her heart for worship, how it changes things when taking heavenly kingdom music out into places where there isn't God's kingdom. There can be a change in atmosphere when we worship together. You may have experienced that this morning. And it gives other people outside of the church the opportunity to experience that when they had never come inside. Not only do we have the blessing of her leading us here and a small team of other worshippers. If you want to join them, do talk to Randy. But also there's an opportunity to go out on the streets together with her. And so Katie has been doing that. So if you want to find more information on this, either talk to Ryan or Randy, and there's an email there. And that's all, again, on the website. Can you say number 3? Let's do number 3. Now, these are things that are blessing people abroad. Okay, so we've talked about 2 things for our neighbors across the road. And now, can you say these are 2 things for our neighbors across the globe? So we're going across the globe for these 2 things. The pictures will come up for the 3rd project. Okay, so we want to bless people who otherwise might be forgotten outside of the immediate community that they live within. Emily today is going to be, she works for Oxfam, is going to be sharing more about the situation for the world's poorest and how we might live in a generous way this morning. And we want to give a gift which is beyond ourselves, from us, to those who are forgotten. Now, we have personal connections with both of these projects, and so I'm going to introduce a few people who are here today. Yes. Who you might want to chat to about these projects. Okay, Johnny and Izzy, can you give us a wave? Yeah. They have a friend who lives in Southeast Asia. She leads something called the Joy Center. And due to the sensitivity of where she is living, we will call her by a different name. We'll call her by the name Sarah. That protects her identity. Now, Sarah explains that she wasn't planning this thing called the Joy Center at all. She was actually at a cinema trip in this country, and was just outside afterwards and noticed some children who were gathering. And on the spur of the moment, she said, let's go and buy them some rice. And that then turned into a weekly thing. And then as she got to know them, she discovered that these kids had no one to look after them. They had nothing at all. And over time and through prayer, she sensed God gave her vision and strength to create something that was a safe place where these children could be welcome and loved as part of a family. Now, there's a podcast episode, and again, it calls her Sarah, and she talks about these children who didn't know the loving smile of a parent, and inspired by who she had a relationship, her heavenly Father, God. She said that for them, she wanted them to experience what it was like to live under Papa's smile. She's seen precious lives transformed as children have experienced this kind of love. And despite the many challenges that she faces in that situation, including long-term back pain, which we are praying for healing for, she says this: there is no greater privilege than giving your yes to Jesus and not knowing where it's going to end up. But in that place, there is joy because of the goodness of the Father whose smile we live under. Every day, whatever we're facing. And I can tell if you listen to that podcast, you will see that she faces a lot of difficult situations. So if you want to hear more, speak to Johnny or Izzy, who know her, have visited there, or have a look on our hopeoxford.org website, and you'll have a link to that YouTube podcast. Can you say number 4? Let's go big with this one. Number 4. It's last, but it's not least. It's a contact through Martin and you. Sandra, would you give us a wave so we know who to talk to? Yeah. Now, Martin and Sandra, you may not know, but they have wonderful connections with Myanmar, both personally, through family, and also through some work that's happening there. Community Care Myanmar. They've been working in slums outside of the old capital city, and here there is pretty much no infrastructure. All levels of poverty there are some that many of us will not have seen or experienced ever before. Here there's a small local team who travels on a daily basis to this area. They support education for over 800 children between the ages of 3 and 15. They provide 5 healthy meals a week through the school, and additional food distribution as well that supports 500 families. Women between the ages of 18 to 35 is another project who haven't been educated formally, have found that they actually can join in with what's called a tailoring workshop, and through that they develop skills which give them the potential to earn and provide for their families. There's doctor's clinic that happens, and weekly 30 to 50 people come to each clinic and receive free medical support in the hospitals they wouldn't otherwise be able to afford. On the website, you'll find a link to their website, and also there's a video that's on their website which shows a little bit more about that. Myanmar is a place, if you're not aware, that's under incredible turmoil, and so we are praying for that wonderful country and the beautiful people that live there. Okay. In fact, shall we finish with a quote from one of the staff at that who work there? He says this about this particular project: "The future is that this community can bring hope for the whole area." And he went on to say, "We work with love." And thinking about the personal impact he says that has, he says it opens up possibilities for the future, bringing joy. And that's what we want to do from here. We want to open up people's possibilities and bring joy. We talk about find home, share hope. And so Katie will explain the practical details in a moment. On the main website, there is now a new area, and you can go on there and give towards this. We'll be counting up things at the end of 2 weeks' time, but you can give there specifically, and it says July 2024 Special Gift Day. So that's the fund you give to. That'll all be accounted for, and then we can add up the totals at the end.